Well, you know, the one thing about Super Saturday is we like continuity and synergy. Now, last week, down at the SuperSport shootout, we had the three captains, the three Kapteinen, which of course were Neil Tovey, Graham Smith and John Smith. But I thought, let's go to the root of it all, because we need to speak to the real Kaptein, who's been spinning the sailor for a while. Darren, it's fantastic for us to have you in our Super SaturTaxi.
Thank you, Neil. So good to be here. Yeah, no, great. And I know all three of those guys. And they've all used Kaptein at some stage.
I'm sure they have. But let's come to what you're doing now, because you've had a great career, unbelievable career. South Africans love you. Geez, you've performed, I saw the other day, I think you're up to having performed in 15 different countries. So you're not just known as an Afrikaans singer, you have a very broad base and appeal to everybody.
Yeah, I toured quite a lot, you know. I mean, a lot of my songs over the years, like Hemel op Tafelberg, Kaptein, Meisie Meisie, Dans met Tafels, Los Lappie, they've all been translated in the Benelux countries. So you're talking Holland, Germany, Belgium. So I tour there about 3 times a year. And when I get there, it's the weirdest thing. You do like a town square show for 10,000 people, and at least 12 of the artists are singing songs that you've written, which is quite weird, you know. But it's an awesome position to be in. So
yes.
I love touring all over the place, but of course I love singing in South Africa.
I want to bring it back to sport, because you are a rugby fanatic. I mean, you told me hoping to go to the Rugby World Cup next year.
I'm a sport fanatic.
Yes.
I'm a sport, golf, rugby, cricket, anything. You know, I'll watch anything, and if there's something on TV, I'm gonna be watching it, kind of thing, or live. So yeah, I'm Rugby World Cup next year in France. I'm definitely there.
I looked at your resume. I mean, you've been there, done it. I think one of the highlights for you might have been the 90th birthday celebrations of Nelson Mandela. You were singing in Hyde Park. So we talk about the international appeal of you, but that must have been a hell of a night.
It was amazing. I mean, we were there for 2 weeks. So we stayed there at Hyde Park Corner in that hotel there, and with us stayed all the artists that didn't live in London. And you're talking Will Smith. I mean, my next door neighbor was Leona Lewis.
Oh, wow.
In the room next to me. It was an amazing 2 weeks, going to rehearsals, and you rehearse with Eddie Grant, and just after you is Josh Groban kind of thing. So, and then the day of the concert, the night of the concert, was just like amazing.
Kaptein, let's do Kaptein. Let's talk about Kaptein. I want to know, and so does Jose actually, where did the song come? Because you wrote the song with your record label, right?
Yeah, so Kaptein is a funny story, because when I write, I go away to the bush, or I go away to the coast, you know, and we sit for 3 days and we write songs. And at that stage, I was writing with a guy called Aaron Kleinans and Kwesi van Niekerk, who was the owner of the record company. And we wrote everything together, Hemel op Tafelberg, all those songs we wrote together. And that third day of writing, we had kind of hit, okay, we've got an album, all good, but we hit a bit of a dead spot. And we were standing at Pinnacle Point. We were writing in a house there, Kwesi's house. And Kwesi looked out the window, out into the ocean, and he saw a sailing boat coming past. And he said to me, I dare you, write a song, Spunny Sailor. Spunny Sailor. I said, what about Kaptein Spunny Sailor? And he said, that's it. And on the way down in the aircraft, I actually had written the verses for a kind of eendag lang gelede in my drome, like a fantasy little story.
Right.
The next morning he phoned me and said, okay, I want to tell you 2 things. First of all, you got a massive hit on your hands. It's going to last forever, that song.
Yeah.
But your friends and anyone that you walk to in a mall is always, for the rest of your life, going to call you
Kaptein.
Kaptein.
Well, we're going to end off. We're going to do what we have to do. I mean, this is, at the end of the day, a Super SaturTaxi. Last week we had 3 Kapteins. Now I've got the real Kaptein. So, play it, Jose.
Are we doing this?
Kaptein.
Oh my greatness.
Volume. We need volume.
You got to go with this one for me?
Okay.
A Kaptein. A Kaptein, spunny sailor. Kaptein, say is my nou. Dan maar die son opkom, dan hoor die son wat sê vir my. Kaptein, spunny sailor. Kaptein, say is my nou. Dan waar die son gaan lê, het sê maar, oh, 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 sing wag vir my. Bruce, you can sing.
Well, I'm going low. I'm doing the Darth Vader thing.
Well, that's it, folks. The Kaptein, Kurt Darren. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Neil. I really appreciate it. It was so much fun, and I cannot wait to get back in the studio. So straight after Doha.
We got a date. You're coming in. We'll wait for a Springbok end of tour match. Come in, sing Los Lapi, eh?
Oh, cannot wait. And you're going to harmonise with me. It's going to be, when someone asks me again, what's the highlight of your career? I'm going to say, I'll sing with Neil Andrews.
From your lips to God's ears. Thanks, Kurt.
Thank you.